Dear listeners, welcome to Tech Horizons, the podcast where we delve deep into the impact of emerging technologies. Today is not just an ordinary day, it's February 14th, 2035, the Valentine's Day. As we all know, Valentine's Day is a day when many hearts either find love, face challenges in their relationships, or celebrate love they have built over time. But today, we have a unique twist for you. We won't be hosting just any hearts on our podcast. We'll be featuring some extraordinary ones. The hearts that have been touched by innovation and science in ways you can't even imagine. These hearts are not merely flesh and blood, they have been engineered and built to beat with the rhythm of the future. Today, I'll be talking to three guests wrapping this technology: Mr. Dil, Eva, and Artray, who can talk about their journey better than the engineered heart themselves, right? First up, our guest Mr. Dil would be sharing with us what it was like for the hearts back in 2023. Without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Dil.
I am so pumped to join this podcast and talk to you all. Thank you for inviting me. I am an engineered heart, engineered to help humans live their best lives.
Mhm.
If you think about the time before 2023, the idea of a heart was completely different. You were born with a heart and lived with it for the rest of your life. And the rest of your life was usually until the heart supported you. The heart was a delicate but critical organ. So my heart used to ache when I thought about all the lives that were lost. To put into perspective, about 64 million people in the world died of heart failures every year back then.
64 million. That's
Mhm.
shocking. What was the reason? Heartbreaks?
No, I'm not talking about heartbreaks. Heart failure is a condition where their natural hearts can no longer pump blood effectively. This was because of a variety of reasons, and I can talk about it all day. But heart failures were just the beginning of the problem.
Oh, I have dealt with heartbreaks, but this seems like a much bigger and serious problem. How were people used to deal with this?
For a long time, the best way to deal with this was with a heart transplant. Unfortunately, there weren't enough donor hearts to meet this demand, leading to long wait lists and tragically, loss of life. In fact, back in 2023, about 3,000 people were on the wait list for a heart transplant in the United States alone, and over half of them might take more than a year to get the transplant. And if you wonder why only 3,000 people are on the wait list out of the 64 million, it is because it cost over $1.6 million before insurance just to get a transplant. And for most people, it wasn't even within their reach.
Oh, seriously? $1.6 million in 2023? That's a fortune. I would have to sell both of my kidneys to get a single heart, dude. I remember standing in long queues to get an iPhone in its early days, but even after spending a fortune waiting for a year with 3,000 more people, that's a real billion-dollar problem. I'm sure brilliant minds from Georgia Tech would have jumped to solve it.
Yeah, scientists started to figure out that the heart, like any other machine, can be engineered. Then I slowly started taking shape. Stem cells taken from the patient itself have the remarkable ability to become any cell type in the body, including heart cells. Scientists then use a combination of engineering techniques and advanced 3D bioprinting technology to craft a scaffold that mimics the structure of a natural heart.
Oh, that's mouthful, but easy. Could have easily made billions out of this.
However, it was not without its challenges.
Mhm.
Most importantly, there were two main challenges and uncertainties that we were thinking of back in 2023. First, we didn't know how durable these things were and what the long-term performance of such hearts were as compared to an artificial mechanical heart. It could have been great, and I could have let patients live much longer, or I could have stopped working in a heartbeat. I'm just kidding. We also
Mm.
didn't know how affordable we were going to be in the long term compared to my mechanical counterparts. There were a lot of factors that could affect this, like durability and support from insurance companies.
Well, those are the risks of being in business of hearts, but definitely it was a worthy problem to pursue, given the impact the emergence of this technology has had today.
Yeah, regardless of the uncertainties, a bioengineered heart was a remarkable breakthrough back then, since a patient could now generate their own heart from their own cells. Each engineered heart was tailor made for the recipient. so hopefully minimizing the risk of rejection by the immune system. It could practically eliminate the waitlist and could bring the cost from $1.6 million to about 500,000 before insurance.
Oh, truly, not just for individuals or patients. Humanity has progressed through innovations like you, Mr. Dil. Thank you for your sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go back to 2035 now. How are our next up guests, Eva and Artery, doing? Well, stay tuned. We'll take a break and be back shortly. Welcome back to Tech Horizons. Listeners, listen to this. Christian Eriksen is back on the field. It broke my heart to learn that this talented soccer player collapsed on the field due to heart failure. But an engineered heart has gotten him back on the field. He has been literally winning hearts with goals in this FIFA this year. And look who we have here. Welcome, Eva. I heard you had
Mm,
a I heard you had a fantastic career as a bioengineer heart. Why don't you tell us more about your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a well-grown, healthy, and capable bioengineered heart, majoring in pumping and aspiring to stay with a human for the rest of my life. Uh, oh, you didn't expect that? Oh, yeah, I know. Some of my species, like my cousin, the artificial mechanical heart, has been pretty hard to deal with. You thought that you had him in your heart, but all of a sudden he's got mad and he's gone away. But I'm different. Thanks to a group of bioengineers from Emory and Johns Hopkins universities, I was well educated into a friendly and lovely human companion. In 2023, they partnered to form an institution and focused on investigating my potential.
Uh, oh, intelligent minds coming together for a problem? What's the solution that they attempted?
Yeah, so instead of making me from some solid mechanical parts, they tried to create me from scratch using a technique called 3D printing. It's kind of like crafting a fancy 3D puzzle, but with
Uh-huh.
human cells as bioink. Yeah,
Mm.
they believe that if I was created using human cells, I would grow up to be very, very compatible. But it has been a long journey, and they started from creating my great 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 ancestor, who was a 3D printed meniscus, the stuff between your bones. And back in the day, they could only create simple stuff like that. It was a real challenge to create big organs like me, and it's like it's even a bigger challenge to sustain my complex structures. Researchers couldn't figure out how to deliver nutrients to keep all of my cells alive, so rumor has it that I could only live for a couple of hours.
Just a couple of hours? I remember people sustaining longer than that on the ventilator instead. Couple of hours is nothing.
Yeah, but like in 2030, these smart folks actually figured out a way. They tried a type of special cells from human stem cells called organoids, which is basically baby cells that can grow into any cell type. And they taught these baby cells to grow into the correct structure, then instructed those cells to build extra blood vessels at the beginning to transport enough food to grow my body. And as I finished growing up, the cells supporting those extra blood vessels died and got cleaned out, resulting in the appropriate number of blood vessels. And here I am, I was born. Since I was created from stem cells in human bodies, I was very welcomed by them. And if I ever get a chance to visit those bodies, they'd always ask me to make myself at home.
Oh, now that sounds like a formidable solution. Who wouldn't want that? I guess everyone who can afford it would like to host someone from your family. How much does it cost to make one of you?
600,000.
600,000? That's still a fortune. It would be tough to find someone who can afford that, given the inflation soaring so high.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of hard to make. So, well, 60,000, 600,000 was definitely creating a financial burden to many of those who really needed me. But luckily, I was deemed to be the rising star who can save millions of people's lives. So, the government agencies worldwide have issued a lot of good things like tax deductions and research grants to generate more of me. In
Oh,
2032, the US government issued a policy that provides subsidies to people who invite me into their bodies. And in 2035, the government offered 10% subsidization to my manufacturers and also tax deductions for insurance companies that offer co-pay as an option for the policyholder to receive a transplant of me. Isn't that amazing? I then become much more affordable. And well, my costs are still higher than my cousin, the artificial mechanical heart, but I am becoming a more popular option as I have the potential to stay in the human body for more than 20 years. My cousin, costing only 20% of me to make, hit the record of being in the human body for almost 7 years back in 2000, but his capabilities haven't grown much ever since.
just 7 years and then dead. Even my islands runs longer than that today.
I think it's because, we're hearts. We work hard, and
Hmm.
those mechanical parts that pump 24/7 just worn off pretty quickly. So, if money was not an issue, many people would choose me over my cousin to live a longer life. And now, since they're subsidized and partially covered by insurance, I naturally become a more popular option, and my twins are being transplanted all over the world. It's a heartwarming success story, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's definitely a success the world would cheer for. It's just amazing how planning and implementation of an emerging technology with a vision can lead to overwhelming success. Thanks,
Yeah,
Eva, for sharing your amazing story with us today.
yeah, thank you.
That was a really heartwarming life story of Miss Eva. Everything turned out to be like a fairy tale. Though that doesn't seem to be the case with our next guest. We have Miss Artery, whose story is truly heart-wrenching. Why don't you tell us more about that, Artery?
Hi everyone, I'm Audrey. Thank you for inviting me. So, in 2023, scientists believed that the solution to ensuring the biological compatibility of bioengineered hearts lied in addressing rapid mutations of human leukocyte antigens, or HLAs in short. HLAs are a group of proteins found on the surface of cells, and they play a crucial role in the immune system's recognition of self and non self substances. The goal was to develop technologies that could mitigate the compatibility issues arising from them. Efforts were made to develop sophisticated algorithms and systems that could decode the unique HLA profile of each individual. Scientists tried to create a sort of HLA fingerprint for patients, allowing the bioengineered heart to be custom tailored to their specific immune system. However, the immune system's adaptability turned out to be far more formidable than anticipated. Despite significant advancements in our understanding of HLA biology, the technology's ability to keep up with the rapid mutation of these proteins fell short. The immune system's constant adjustments to counteract foreign entities, including bioengineered hearts, continued to pose a substantial challenge. The net result of the struggle was that even after 5 long years of extensive research, bioengineered hearts like myself remained incompatible with patients, as if the immune system had evolved into an ever shifting puzzle that defied easy solutions.
Oh, I wish my body had fought COVID-29 virus with that vigor. But there must be some friendly places where you would be welcome, right?
Not really. The year 2028 saw yet another threat looming around: incompatibility with other organs in the body. The pace at which bioengineered hearts pumped blood often exceeded the capabilities of other organs, leading to metabolic imbalances. Additionally, bioengineered hearts occasionally produce substances that non bioengineered organs couldn't metabolize properly, causing unforeseen complications. Despite efforts using mathematical models and advanced drug delivery systems, achieving seamless integration between these two types of organs remained a formidable technical obstacle. Emergency surgeries have now become as common as a morning cup of coffee, and patients live in constant fear of their bioengineered hearts going on strike. It's a bit like owning a car with a mind of its own, revving up and slowing down at will.
Oh, that's tough. Do doctors still recommend you?
So, ethical dilemmas loom large in this gloomy landscape. Doctors and medical ethicists are debating whether it's morally acceptable to continue implanting these hearts in patients despite the immune system's continued impenetrability. Patients now refer to us as alien hearts, not in a cool sci-fi way, but we're rejected by our own bodies way. It's akin to receiving an intergalactic eviction notice from your own body, not exactly the romantic scenario we'd hoped for back in 2023.
Haha, that's funny but really heartbreaking. But isn't it better that mechanical hearts that I would need would I have to change like every 7 odd years?
Well, it's a tough call. In 2027, remarkable advancements in pacemaker technology led to a significant reduction in cost, making them available for just $5,000. The sudden affordability of pacemakers created a ripple effect in the industry. When pacemakers are primarily used to regulate the heartbeat, they were seen as a more budget friendly alternative to full scale bioengineered hearts. This shift had a direct impact on the perceived affordability of bioengineered hearts, which now seems less competitive in terms of cost effectiveness. Fast forward to 2035, insurance companies have begun approving only pacemakers for coverage, and they're priced at just about $5,000. However, when it comes to bioengineered hearts, things took a different turn. Due to our higher one-time cost, around estimated at around like $2 million, we were met
Oh,
with hesitance from insurance companies. Despite our remarkable potential for long-term durability and compatibility, we are considered financially burdensome and haven't been approved for insurance coverage. This stark disparity in approval has created a perception that bioengineered hearts are impractical and far too costly, and it all boils down to a trade-off between long-term quality and short-term cost.
oh, it seems like it didn't turn out well for you. I
Uh,
sympathize with it. Thank you for sharing this with us, Artery.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, back in 2023, we had Abbvie Technologies, a biomedical company developing bioengineered hearts, interested in our guidance. Some ideas pop up after hosting all three guests today, Mr. Till, Eva, and Artery. More than anything, the company should keep an eye out on indicators that are unfolding in the medical community, especially the health of the patients. More patients successfully living with implanted bioengineered hearts would mean that technology is working. The tech is on its way, but imagine this more than 1 million people with bioengineered hearts, extended lives, and happier families within the next 5 years. How amazing that would be! What could be done to achieve this? Push for more lab funding on successful growth of organoids and 3D bioprinting technologies. But this action is only going us to get us halfway there. What else can be done? Ah, money. The company should also keep an eye out on the public being able to afford the bioengineered heart. The more insurance companies cover the cost, the more affordable the bioengineered heart will be for the public. For this, they should lobby the government to mandate the health insurance and Medicare policies to include support for bioengineered hearts. And that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Further questions and comments? Share with us on our website. In our next episode, we'll be talking about the crazy and cool technologies. Have you heard about Apple's new eye shoes that let you walk on the wall? Stay tuned.